Amun. Peace, 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 peace. This is part 3 of class. And why do black people hate each other? We're getting down to find out results. What if we ever find out the answer? Or is the answer it's just in ourselves? Possibility. I'm Chocolate Amun Ra, and listen here. I'm not your minister, your reverend. I'm not your pastor, preacher. I'm not your archaeologist. I'm not your mathematician. I'm not your scientist. I'm not your archaeologist. I'm not your astronomer. But let's get one thing straight. I am the messenger. My opinions, my research, my studies, and I'm passing off the information to you. Now, what I want you to do is to study it, cross-reference it. Don't just Google the stuff up, and then you go, oh, that's the answer, or he's wrong. No. Cross-reference means you're trying to match as close as possible. You might have to read 2 or 3 different books. You might have to just go to Google on the internet. You might have to go to YouTube, pull off other information. Take your time. Let's get one thing straight. I don't want you to follow me. Why would I want you to do that? I don't want no views. I want you to learn what's going on. Understand what's going on. You're not going to learn any of this stuff in church. It don't work like that. And we're not here to knock the church. The church already has its foundation. But don't think none of this black people killing black people or black people hate black people doesn't happen in church. Oh, we're going to show you those videos. Don't get it twisted. But before we show those videos, what I want to show you, the bullwhip days. The bullwhip days. If you can find this book, go to your Barnes & Nobles or a black-owned bookstore and see if you can find that. You got your pencils and paper, am I correct? Okay. Get this book here, The Bullwhip Days. See, we're going to try to find out why black people hate each other. I mean, we came from the theory of ancient times when blacks started slavery. We know that. We also know in the slave trade, white folks were masters in their domains, and black people was their slave. And had blacks turn on each other, we know that. We also know the separation between the field nigger and the house negro. We also know that. We also know in slavery that families was being being separated. We know that. So, we also know psychologically through Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, her theories and her makeup find out psychologically the damage is done. that fear is also in the black man and the black woman. But even though we show clips of this, did it show and tell why and how come black people destroy each other? We showed how black people reconstruct the way they're thinking, changing the way of their behavior to less and became more feminized. The evidence is around you. But does it show you why do black people hate each other and want to destroy each other? We got to get deep. And we're going to go get deep. We're going to go from ancient times to modern history. We got to understand why this hatred for one another. But I'm also going to show you something. The love camaraderie of black people had when they were slaves. Let me show you some of these pictures. The bullwhip days of slavery, remember. An oral history, edited and with an introduction by James Mellon. I want you to see some of these pages. Here's a slave couple. A slave couple, some that lasted and stayed together while they were slaves. Right? We got to find these things out. Here's a former slave from the country of Mississippi. A former slave. See, I'm going to show you some of these pictures. These are genuine, real pictures. Ain't nothing made up in here. Real documents. Here's Caesar, the house servant, probably the last setorial slave in New York State, 1852. Huh? You want documents? You want true stories? Get this book. I know I had to bring you up to speed. I wanted to show you, and it ain't just me talking. You want evidence? Go get it. Go search for it. A former slave. Here's another former slave. We got to find out why our people have so much problems. It's Uncle Isaac. Uncle Isaac look like a lot of our uncles, don't he? The bullwhip days. Oh, I bet you some of y'all know this person. Do you? And if you don't know who she is, that's Harriet Tubman, the leader of the so-called Underground Railroad. The reason why they call it the Underground Railroad is because they moved at night and they hit at daytime. Huh? Show you again. I wanted to show you real pictures, real slaves. Huh? Let's look what the slaves look like. Slaves working in the field in Etoso Island, South Carolina in 1862. Huh? Let's play games. There's no games up in here. Real talk. Another former slave. Huh? Think about it. I want you to see these pictures. Another former slave. These ain't no drawings. Those are real photographs. If you're asking me why am I showing you these pictures, it's because we got to find out where this hatred come from. Why is it so deep-rooted? Huh? Why? Check this out. $100 reward. Run away from my farm near Benya Vista, P.O., Prince George's County, Maryland on the first day of April, 1855. My servant, Matthew Turner. He's about 5'6" or 8 inches height, weight from 62, 180 pounds. He is very black and has remarkable thick upper lips, and his neck looks as if his eyes are half closed. Walks slow and talks and laughs loud. I will give $100 reward to whoever secure him in jail so that I get him again, no matter where it's taken. Marcus Duval. You think it's one bull crabbing? The bullwhip days. We gotta find out what happened to us. Huh? I got one for you. Look at this young master. This is an old man taking care of his baby. She's the master over him. Huh? What? Think about it. Does he look happy? Is he fronting, perpetrating fraud? How we know he could be happy? He in the house. Huh? Understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't no games up in here. It's real. Why do black people hate each other? And I know y'all seen this. The cause of the war. This is a famous picture that traveled around the world. I've seen that picture plenty of times. Now, the bullwhip days. I gave you this illustration because I wanted to do that. Need to know, we got to know, and find out why do black people hate each other. Why are they so quick to want to destroy each other? According to what I said in the first and second videos, I always stated that we come from different tribes. Right? We could put that theory there. That theory is a fact. 13 nations, 13 nations betrayed their own people. 13. So figure this out.
Peace and blessings, YouTube. I just wanted to weigh in on this issue about the transatlantic slave trade and the trading of black people by black people. Africans. Did Africans trade black people? Yes. Hell yes. And for those of us who are so sensitive and don't want to believe that, I mean, you just can't bring yourself to believe it because I don't know why, but, you know, we got these romantic ideas that, you know, black people were so dumb and stupid that they would just allow some white people to come all up into their camp and just take it over with, you know, just with ease and shit, just because they got guns. No, it didn't work like that. Them Peckerwoods could not come up in there without coming to see the head man. Okay? The head people. They couldn't do it. The society wasn't even set up like that. So what happened was, these people, these other Africans, saw that, you know, because they were having their problems with other African village, other African people. You know, they had wars and stuff like that. I mean, and human beings been doing that since the beginning of time. But You know, they had wars and stuff, and so of course they were, you know, taking on captives, trading captives with the Arabs, and you know, incorporating them into their.
Now I give you that little clip to show you that I'm not the only one have done the research. That African people traded their own people, not just on any issues, but resources, war. So, let's go see how do other black people treat other black people. And let's see if this so-called imagination of we think that African people love everybody. Because we're going to find out why black people here in America hate each other's guts. Because if we are descended from them, we're going to find out. The next clip.
So is that why your nickname was General Butt Naked?
Yes, because I was naked, because I fought naked.
A lot of people would drink or do drugs before fighting?
Yeah, most of my boys,
Yeah.
then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you kill the child
Yes,
and then drink the blood?
yeah.
I left it up on a temper, I'm gonna eat it. Lieutenant General Hunt.
So what kind of war is this? World War II.
It's World War III.
We here at Vice have been fascinated by Liberia for a long time. It's America's first and only foray into quasi-colonialism in Africa. It started as a back to Africa movement for freed slaves. In fact, the Constitution was written in Washington, and Monrovia, the capital city of Liberia, is actually named after President Monroe, and it became a state in the 1840s. So the freed slaves go back to Africa and promptly enslave the native Africans based on the plantation method they had learned in the US, which lasts for about 140 years until Samuel K. Doe, the first native African-born Liberian, was elected. But this doesn't last very long. Why? Because an American-educated, and some would say American-backed, rebel leader named Charles Taylor and his buddy Prince Johnson came from America and overthrew him.
We are not a military group here. I'm not a soldier. What we seek to do is to destroy these military dictatorships around Africa. And that's that Charles Taylor virus. If the civilians can throw out the army, wow, we are in trouble. Well, I love it. We will fight to the last man. I will get weapons from wherever I have to get it. If the Pentagon's got some, please give me some.
Despite reports that the government wants talks with the rebels, the violence goes on.
The government and people of this country assure you that the armed forces will protect them and that the rebel will soon be eliminated.
Rebel forces stormed into the center of the capital today. They are now less than a mile from the executive mansion where President Samuel Doe has barricaded himself with about 500 soldiers.
In fact, Prince Johnson, who got to Doe before his buddy Charles, ended up torturing him, cutting him up, and is rumored to have eaten him while filming the whole thing. So Charles Taylor finally gets elected with a campaign slogan that reads,
Okay. Now, I'm hoping that those videos didn't disturb you. Straight out of Africa, showed you Libya, showed you a warlord cannibalism. That ain't old. That's new. Let me ask you a question. Have you understand why black people can't stand each other? So here they are over there in Africa, cutting each other up, eating each other. And here we're descendants from them, according to the story. You heard that Africans captured other Africans and began to make them slaves. The video was showed you. Well, not from my words. So we want to ask ourselves, where do black people in America get this such violence towards each other? Are we putting the puzzles together? Are you writing this information down? Huh? Now, everybody's not like that, of course. But it's a great percentage. See, we can point the fingers all we want. We can come up with the Willie Lynch letters, and that was that horrifying 400 years of that moment. 600 years of Arabic slavery and that horrifying slave. Here living in modern time in America, the psychosis, the mind of the black African man that lives here in America, his mind is split. Is he free? Are you free? The Dr. Francis Cress Wellington broke it down. I mean, we can sit there and say, well, the white people did it. They put us in these conditions. But before we got into those conditions, how did we get there? How did we get there? But I showed you evidence. How they don't show you how African people, the things they do to each other. Oh, because you just thinking Africa is this wonderful place. And yes, it is. It is. But you better be sure, make sure you know what nation you're going to. Because if you go to the wrong one, you're not coming back. So you're dealing with different nations, different civilizations, and how the black man and the black woman hate each other for many different reasons, for many different stories. How you sit back and your jealousy take over and you want to destroy your neighbor. You want to destroy your brother. You want to destroy your mama. You want to destroy your father. You want to destroy your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle. For what? Because the other cultures don't give a damn if you do it or not. I just showed you the video. They can't walk up in there and stop what's going on because they don't want to. You're going to cause some problems. America just can't walk up in there and say you got to stop all that. It don't work like that. Don't work like that at all. Plus, we all know they don't want to. Huh? Understand the concept. Why do black people hate each other here in America? It's in their blood. It's in their DNA. I'm sorry, you might not want to hear this, but facts are facts. Truth is the truth. It's already in you. You're going to claim something, but you ain't prepared to go down the rabbit's hole and get the truth. Do your research after this. 13 nations that sold their own people. 13 nations in Africa sold their own people. They got warlords right now in Africa who will sit there and chop you up and eat you. I showed you. That last clip, they was chopping them up and eating them. Think about it. I'm Chocolate Amun Ra. Would we really ever get to know why black people do the things they do to each other? Would we really find out? The best conclusion is this. If we are the original, are we the origin? Take responsibility for yourself. Because you are responsible for yourself. You will get some people will conquer other people. And if those other people allow themselves to be conquered, bottom line is this here. The weak get taken and the strong will survive. And if you allow another man or woman to take what belongs to you, well, and let's let one thing be clear. Religion, we talking about millions of people died over religion. You think you know. You think you know. It ain't always so. Religion. Let's look at that for a second. Black people are split up in so many different religions, concepts. That alone should tell you something. That alone should tell you something. You got Christianity, Baptist. You got the Roman Catholics, right? You got the Moors, Islam. You got the Hebrew Israelites. You got the conscious community, the Zions, all these different groups. Here in America, nobody wants to come together. Nobody wants to collaborate together under one flag to serve the Creator. Oh no, they can't do that. And then you want to sit there and say, and I'll say, black people, we are our own nightmare. We always was, and we always will be. And we can sit up there and diffuse it, or we can continue on participating in the horrifying life that you know is he. Or we can sit up there and go, look what the white man did. Really? The white man told you to get a gun and start killing your own neighbors? The white man gave you a gun and say, kill your sister, kill your brother. Did he? You got a choice. You have a choice. Either you're going to do it or not. And in the way I see things, either you're going to do the right thing or you're not. Because some of you got issues. And I will say this. There's not too many black people who are savages. We got a lot of beautiful people. We do. They're not being broadcast the way we're supposed to. But This class today was based on trying to find out why black people hate each other. And I hit on some good points. Don't sweep it underneath the rug. Continue on with the journey. I'm Chocolate Amun Ra. Either we're gonna fix it or continue on with the foolishness. See ya. Class is done.